Oh, Grand Rising. That's baby Nura. Okay, hold on. Let's see the waiting room. All right. And there it goes. Yeah. Okay, the shit gets real, okay? So last night I really practiced this. Like I really did my whole thing. It was really good last night. And I've been up and running since 11 o'clock this morning on last night's Zoom link. Yeah. Whatever, Shalyn. I see how you looking at me. Yes. Yeah, hey, y'all know we ain't never did a virtual style before, so I'm having to figure it out as I go. Just figure this shit out. Okay, then let me see, where was I at so I can turn this down. Okay. We are virtual. Wow. Come on through, everybody. Hey y'all. Okay, who got stage? Who cleansing us as we go in? Leilani, come. I knew you had it together. That's right, Leilani. Smudge them in. They steady coming in. Smudge them in. Smudge them in. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. Hey, Michi. Okay, good morning, FDSU tribe. Good morning, family. Is Shawntell and Nikki on yet? Yeah,
I'm here, Benicia.
I don't see her face. There goes Nikki. Hey, sis. I hear Shawntell, but I don't see her yet. Okay, sis, this is on though. Man, the shit is real when you ain't never did it like this before, boy. That ascension is something. Okay, so thank y'all for being patient. Literally, I was sitting, Estacia was in there with me, so she knows. I was sitting in last night's Zoom and had the music all queued up, had the nice little welcome to Sold Out Sunday sign, sitting at 11 o'clock. I said, everybody can have the whole little same vibe. Yeah, that shit didn't happen right, so whatever. This morning, we up and we on, and we going virtual because we have been quarantined. And a lot of us have been triggered like hell during this quarantine time. And okay, Shawntell is unmuted. Where is Nikki? Let me unmute Nikki. Nikki, unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself, baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Okay, so got somebody coming on with the iPhone. Okay, so this is how we're gonna start to run it this morning. Of course, many of you all know how we do Sold Out Sunday. We got Leilani in the back sending energy, cleansing energy. Okay, get them, sis. Make sure they're ready. Get them. Make sure that's right. So Leilani's gonna be smudging everybody as they're coming in. I'm still gonna manage everybody as they're coming in too, because they're just steady coming in.
I'll take care of the chat.
Oh yes, can you see the chat, sis?
Yeah, I'm in it already.
Oh, okay, cool. This is how we're gonna have to try to manage it. We're gonna try to keep everybody muted until, as we still open up this healing circle. Of course, y'all know how it goes. Baby Nura is sometimes the boss, and so you may hear him in the background. Just know that if we was in Sold Out Sunday or not, this subject to be my situation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have meditation today with, of course, with Nikki. We talked about this. Hold on, dang, they still coming in. We had 31. That's a blessing. So of course we're gonna have some guided meditation with Nikki and Shawntell. Okay, y'all, I still gotta tell you about this shit. Y'all know I always got a damn story to tell, but now this one is for real. Okay, so Shawntell teaches our inner child healing class within FDSU, And so this time I said, hey, I'm sitting in and I'm actually taking the class myself. I really thought that I had been really doing good with my inner child healing. I posted a video, did a video journal back when I was pregnant with New Rod, and that was my last like deep, ugly cry, you know, like when the cry is just like ugly, and you just like, that's it. I ain't doing no more damn crying like that. And so then there were a lot of things that sort of happened after that, you know, even where my mother, you know, would trigger me and I would not respond the same. Well, I started this damn inner child healing. And then I realized it wasn't all my mama that I was exactly mad. I knew I was mad at my daddy too, but a lot of it has come from him, from my father, even, you know, being issues in my relationships that I've had. And so I had to really sit down and I'm having to really sit down and really go through that part. And it has been totally different. The conclusion that I have came to just in week 4 is that inner child healing needs to be expanded a little bit. Well, I think all of the classes need expansion. So we've talked to the professors about definitely, you know, making sure that they have outlets for, you know, us to be able to continue to reach out to continue the journey. So Shawntell said, okay, when you remove the knife, like, what did you put right there? I was like, probably nothing. So I'm just over here bleeding, you know, I don't know, whatever. So I know Nikki and I have talked about this, and what's really starting to trigger right now is that many of us are at home with our children. And so we're seeing reflections of ourselves in them. And we was like, damn, that's sort of like, you know, my goddamn nerves, you know, just being honest. And then, so now I'm starting to have a little bit more empathy for my mama and, you know, probably a little bit for my daddy, but not just as much just yet. But damn sure I'm starting to have a little bit more empathy for my mom, but also understanding how important it is that we work to heal that little person from within. And I don't know if we have any guys on, so I'm just gonna say, you know, that inner person, that inner little person from within. It is definitely important to go back to her. So my little girl self, when I was younger, that my mom, my family, like my close family, called me Nishi, and so I've been really riding with Nishi a lot. You know, let me just hug her a little bit this morning. Hey, Nishi, I love you. You're doing a good job. You don't talk too much. You just got a lot of shit to say because they don't let you say shit. Okay. How you feeling, Shawntell?
I'm well. I'm good. I'm real good.
You ready? I just knew you was gonna be outside in the backyard in the grass and shit. I just knew you was in the grass.
Oh, I already went outside this morning.
Good. I said, and when I was like, man, no, Nikki, I just knew you was gonna be on the balcony, but I knew some sun was gonna come from all of y'all asses. I knew it. I just knew. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be some light somewhere in the building. Leilani, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
You feeling good? You cheesy and smiling.
I put on some clothes and moisturize my skin.
Yes. Come on then, moisturizer. Misha, you at work. I know Misha is a first responder, so of course we know she's been having to be, you know, she got to be at work. How you feeling this morning, though, sis?
I'm good. I'm good.
Y'all feeling good? Okay.
Yeah.
Tamisha, how you feeling? You still cute with that patch?
It hurts a lot today. I'm gonna be honest. I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm here.
You're here. We appreciate you being here. We have 37 participants, or 35. Okay, who is this looking all cute laid on this orange pillow like this? Who is that? Let me unmute you.
She's muted.
Talking. Let's see. Who is that?
Queen.
God damn it! I knew Queen was gonna gonna be in the building.
I am
Yes.
too. Now
You
it's so down.
you show up quarantine style and still be cute. That's why I fucks with Queen, y'all. Y'all think I'm lying. I absolutely fucking love her. Yeah. How you feel this morning, Queen?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, she looked wonderful too.
Thank you. No
Yeah.
complaints.
Yes. Okay. I know you're gonna have some amazing stuff to say, so I'm ready for that too. Let's see. Oh, Janice. Okay, Miss Proud, did you get it fixed? Chantel, are you handling all these people over here?
Hold on.
One person said they can't hear. Okay.
Yeah, I've been talking back and forth to Janice.
Oh,
I just saw her in here. I had her go out and go back in, and then I had her dial in on her phone, because sometimes you need to activate it on your phone. But there you go. Janice, can you unmute yourself? Because right now you muted.
okay, I can. Okay.
Can you talk? Can you hear us? Obviously you can. You just okay. So can you speak? I can't hear you say like a sentence. Yep. See,
Oh, she just needs to click on use your audio, something, whatever. Keep working on that. Good morning, Kiana. Good morning, Marcia. Let's see. We are,
Good
man,
morning.
we in the building. Hey, sis, y'all. Okay, so let me tell you why I really couldn't work through all these goddamn kinks. Okay, so last night, a couple of you all were on last night for we did Candid Conversations. And so Candid Conversations last night had me sipping on my detox tea. And it's really a good tea. It doesn't like taste horrible. Like Nikki had me do something and oh Jesus, it got down deep in my soul, but Lord, it was rough. It was rough taking it down, but this one is not bad. It's really, really good. And this morning, like all the shit literally hit at one goddamn time. And I'm like, Kiana, I'm still on this toilet. It's 10 damn 30. Like, so thank you, sis. Sis has been providing amazing tools for us during this pandemic season, whatever you want to call this shit that they done put out here. So if you are in need of flu tonics, she has it. If you need cough syrup, she has it. The detox tea, she has it, and all of it is natural. So we appreciate you, sis, for that. I'm probably not going to drink no more of this today. I will probably resume on Tuesday. So let's just jump right on in. I know a lot of you all have said that you all are feeling really, really good. I'm just waiting on somebody to tell the truth. Good morning, Indigo. And tell me how you feel, like who has been having their ass whooped this week. And you can just politely unmute yourself. Come on, Nikki. Thank you for telling the truth. Your ass has been, and I know you know what to do. How you feeling, sis? In that sense, like what has been your struggle this week, Nikki?
I have been triggered the shit out of, like, I've always said, hey, I'm going to start this school and I want to do homeschooling and everything like this. And this was the first time for me that, like, I was able to do it without any guilt. Cause like, I'll keep my baby at home just because I want to and just because she wants to be there. But because of that circumstance, like, I don't make her do anything, or we're kind of just hanging out, or she's sick or something like that. So in this place, like, there's a real responsibility there. You know, I'm getting real assignments from teachers, and she's real life who she is, and I'm real life who I am. And we're sharing, energetic space. And so I just got to see myself. I mean, the first day she came home, because she's never been away from me for like more than 7 days. So whenever I came home and she came back, like, she was mad as hell. She was angry. And to the point where she like was hitting me. And I was just like kind of looking at her like, are you possessed? So I'm not gonna lie, I got a smudge stick and I got one of them dragon's blood incense. And I went back into that room, and when she started acting like she was possessed, I did, like, look, I'm a special education teacher, so I'm trained in CPI. So what I did is I got my legs around her, and I took her down on the bed to where she couldn't move.
Yeah.
I had that sage and I had that incense, and I just kept going and just kind of rubbing her or whatever and just rubbing it out because I know better. I know better. This is what I do. But it just had never happened to me like that. And as a child that, was physically abused, I'm looking at this like, why is she doing this shit to me? Because it still lives within us. The energy is still there.
Yeah.
So that was day one. That was day one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was her coming in. So that it's gotten better from there. But if you could imagine like the horror in me, like, okay, I don't hit my child, but what do I do when she's like over here hit me? I'm not having a child at home whooping my ass. Like, what the hell?
That's right.
Like, she's not gonna whoop me. So I mean, but for being able to come up with a solution in the moment, I was really grateful for, because any other day or whatever, I would have popped her mouth and probably, blasted her ass. And so as we start hearing about, more child abuse cases, I have an affinity, my heart goes out to that, because hurt people. And so if you were physically or sexually abused or whatever as a child, that energy, unless it's healed, still lives in you. And so I'm just glad that I did enough work, or that I had the tools. I don't know if I've done enough work, because I need to do like an independent study with Shawntell myself, shit. But I had the tools, and I was able to think fast and just take a breath or whatever and be like, this is something else or whatever. Just don't kill the baby. Don't do that. Don't put your hands on her. Don't do any of that. And it just kind of went on from there. So she thought she was the boss. She was breaking boundaries or whatever. And just to be able to hold on to what my boundaries were and not get tired, because she was testing my stamina. And was I going to be consistent with what I said? And then even also using like my ex-husband as a scapegoat. Like, anytime she doesn't get her way, I want to go to my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just a lot of triggers or whatever, and questioning whether that homeschool is what I really want to do. Am I built for that? And at the end of the week, I mean, I say absolutely yes, I am. But I got to start with this with my baby in order to be able to do it in a skillful way for other children. So I'm grateful for the experience or whatever, but that shit kicked my ass. And even what you saying with this trigger and trauma stuff with parents, like, I'm finding out who my daddy is through a scavenger hunt after he died. And so all of that's coming up. So definitely the meditation that I'm doing today I went through it myself this morning to figure out what the biggest part of that is. Because I think we all got a lot of stuff, but there's one I feel like that sticks out, that really has molded, who we've become and what we may still be struggling with.
Indigo, how you feeling? I know she's not on mute. Queen, was you about to say something?
I'm feeling absolutely wonderful.
How you adjusting with the quarantine?
It's wonderful for me, excuse me, but I can walk to a park.
Yes.
Which is like not even a minute from my house.
Okay.
So it's perfect. It's peaceful. As long as I can get out once a day, I'm good.
Well, that's real. Let me check on one more person. I'm instructed to check on one more. I want y'all to stop these liquor challenges right now. That's just random.
I'm not drinking.
Vanessa, you're on. How you feeling? Let me unmute her. Uh-oh, she unmuted us.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good Grand Rising, Vanessa.
Grand Rising.
How you feel this morning? How's quarantine been to you?
Well, I'm still working. I'm in healthcare, so I'm still working. Nothing really has changed except just heightened precautions with handling patients. Um, Otherwise, I go to work and I come home. I got out yesterday and walked at the track at one of the schools in Duncanville.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not totally affected, other than the fact that going to the grocery store is just it's
Hell.
horrible. Yeah.
Indigo is also a nurse too, so we send our love to those who are. I got your. I read your message. We send our love for those of you all who have to still show up and still deal with this in the process, because I know that it can be really frustrating. Things that we used to take for granted, something as simple as going to the store and buying tissue. You know, now we're being triggered. Into parts that we really maybe had have not even really understood. And so we send our love and we send our light and we send that protective energy out your way. For those of y'all who missed last Sold Out Sunday, we did a whole ceremony and protective ritual for the teens and sent out this protective energy. Did not know that it was going to even come to this point where it would really need to hit our communities as such, but definitely understanding that we have to do that more often. So that is something that's going to happen. It was a really, really, really blessed experience. If you have a teen and you're interested in them participating in sort of platforms that's similar like this for a teenager, make sure y'all get with Leilani so that we can get you all together for that. We do have a couple of things that we're going to. Are we going to raffle? I may not do that today. I'm gonna let Spirit move me on that. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want to let us know how quarantine time has been with you? This really, it's only really honestly been a week, just to really just tell y'all the truth. And some of y'all ain't even doing the shit right. Some of us are still out, you know, moving around like normal. Yeah, this is not what they need for us to do. Okay, so anybody want to say how
I
they
know
are?
I know
How
we
they
got a few people in the chat that are talking. They're not, like, some people are at work and stuff, so they can't really speak here, but they're, like, you know, talking you know, in the chat. Like Indigo, she did speak as far as like there's no quarantine, but she had to send her daughter to her mom's house so she wouldn't risk her being at home when she came home. I know Mione Destiny, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. She says she's struggling with social distancing. If I don't know if you want to unmute her, because I don't know what that means by struggling with social distancing. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see who made that comment. Let me see.
Mione Destiny. How do you? She's shaking her head. Okay, I see. How you pronounce your name?
Unmute yourself.
She's talking, but I can't hear her. There you go.
I can't hear it either.
Yeah, because I can see her lips moving. You guys make sure you do your audio. If you're, especially if you're on your phones, make sure you do your audio so we can hear you if you start talking. Miona, you can go ahead. You can put it in the chat and I'll make sure, you know, let me know what you're talking about, struggling with social distancing. Tiana, she says she's angry about it and she's angry at people. My assumption is all the people that are out. Jade, she says she's moving like regular. And let's see.
B says I'm having a blast.
She says she's having a blast, yeah.
That's real, B. That is so real. A lot of us are really enjoying this quarantine time. When I come, I'm just telling y'all stay tuned, because when I come up out of quarantine, I'm gonna have been completed a lot of shit, and I am excited about what's coming after this quarantine time, not just for myself, but from the FDSU students and also the professors. Like, we have some really amazing stuff that is coming about. And we have 42 of you guys in. Like, this is amazing. Like, I'm grateful, like, that y'all really are trusting this whole process. Anybody else want to say anything before we definitely go into
Shannon wanted to
I don't know. Go ahead, Leilani.
I said
Hey,
Shannon wanted to
yes. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Um,
Shal.
I had went to go get my baby from New York. Well, I didn't go get her. We got her a plane ticket to come so that she can be quarantined down here. But she had wanted to say something. Hold on.
Okay. Grand Rising. I can't hear.
I thought she was just talking. Like, that's weird.
The whatchamacallit must have her earpiece in.
Yeah, tell her to take.
Yeah, tell her.
Shallon got her earpiece in.
Tell Shannon to take her piece off.
I don't have my earpiece in.
Are you
Look,
talking to the car?
yeah, we're off in the car. Like, it's crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah, I can't hardly hear her at all.
It legit cut off every time Crystal speaks.
Yeah, every time.
What she's saying is that this time could be scary with misinformation, but it's important. It's important to be around the loved ones and not give up.
Okay.
It's just, but
I,
so she was saying that when she came down here from New York, that our quarantine is like nothing compared to New York. Like New York, their curfew is at 8 o'clock, or you are getting tickets down there.
well, New York is a little nasty.
They taking people to jail up there if you out past 8 o'clock. And so they closed down, like the mayor had a hard time closing down because it's New York, and New York never sleeps. And so for them to actually close, that was like a hard time for everybody. Like she said, when she got down here, everybody just free will, just doing whatever they want to do, just happy that they don't have to go to work. And she said that the streets are actually empty. Like when you go around, it's like nobody out, cars are parked, everything. Not like here, people still moving around like everything is normal.
Definitely. Let me say this. This is definitely a time to up your protection rituals, and not just physically, but spiritually. To update, go in and check in on your spiritual protection rituals. What are you doing to make sure that you're spiritually protected? What kind of tools and resources and prayers and intentions are you putting out to cover yourself, cover your family? Excuse me, most of us, especially us as mothers and women, we are front line. I say it all the time, we are front line. We have to deal with the children. We have to, deal with husbands and keeping the energy right around, our space. So definitely you want to make sure that you're doing the necessary to protect yourself spiritually. Just even with Nikki saying all of those things that she was dealing with this week, that definitely could have spiritually drained her. And so you got to have some tools in place that will actually snap you back into the space that you need to be spiritually, to stay intuitive enough to catch shit that just may be trying to sneak and show up, and so that's definitely pulling out your protective stones, tiger's eye, black obsidian, tourmaline, all of those type of things. Shawntell has this really amazing concoction that she does with red brick and something else that you got. I don't know if you can get it from.
Yeah, red brick and black salt.
Available? Like, I don't know if she has them.
Oh God, no. I have to actually have to go. I'll be back there beating all kind of brick to make that much red dust.
There you have it. Use something that you can do yourself. But it is something that she has been adamant about. And a lot of this, we have been honestly getting signs. I was getting signs of this coming through dreams and other people, Michi was getting signs through dreams about this quarantine time. We made sure this is also a time to make sure that you are really actively a part of a village. That you are actively a part of a village. Like, you want to make sure that your sisterhood game is really where it needs to be. Especially in the sense of, if something goes down, then you need to know where you can go, where you feel safe. Not just a sense of spiritual protection, but also physical protection too. We literally had a whole conversation with our tribe that says, hey, if shit goes down, this is where we can actually go. Brother Kamal, who is fucking amazing, came over here and gave, our babies some training on, how to, protect themselves past what they've had before with him, but very intimate inside the house. We went through and gathered up resources. If one is out, hey, what you need? And we're going and picking up stuff and dropping it off. So make sure that you're actively a part of a sisterhood circle, a tribe, so that if something just does happen to really pop off, that you know exactly what it is that you need to do to make sure that you're safe. Leilani, you were about to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to say a sisterhood is so needed because my daughter triggers the fuck out of me. I'm trying to whisper because she in the other room and I'm hoping she's asleep, but she hurts my nerves. Yeah. But shout out to my sisters, because the other day it took us like forever for her to read this one page, and I wanted to choke her, but I was trying to not be my mama. And Sister Angela stepped in and was like, she can read to me. Y'all, first of all, I didn't know my damn child could read that good because she stutters the whole time she reads to me. She read through the damn book. She had fun. She was like, I love working with her. Like, having a sisterhood can get you in your moments where work and homeschooling ain't for all of us. And then some of us like other people's kids, but we don't really like our kids. So we be needing somebody else that like our kids and not their kids, and we can switch, from home and be able to help each other out, and it works so freaking well. Like, I kid you not, yesterday I went on a medicine run to go get everybody who needed it some stuff. Like, we need each other so much in this time to be able to help. But yes, sisterhood is good.
Yes. For those of you all who don't know, Sister Angela is the bean pie lady and the carrot tuna lady. But Sister Angela, I met her from when she was actively involved in the mosque number 48. She was the principal, quote unquote, I guess. And part of the reason why Chase went there for 2 years. I just walked in to get information because I wanted to put him in a smaller school, and she was just like, oh, okay. And she sent him on to class, and I was just like, now shit, I didn't know he was gonna start today. I was thinking maybe, this week, but he's actually in uniform, ready to get dropped off at school. And after that, it has been a beautiful relationship. Sister Angela is amazing with children. Get with her to see if she's offering tutoring services for your child. I've seen her be productive with every grade level. So that's something that you guys may want to get with. Shawntell, can you put Angela's information
on it
at the store, looks like?
I am.
And then
and Sister Angela is also making your quarantine mask.
Yes, I did.
So
Kiana was wanting to talk, Benicia.
Okay, go ahead, Kiana. I'm sorry.
Where'd she go?
Kiana.
Okay, hi y'all.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hello. I just wanted to speak on my perspective as far as quarantine. And Leilani, that was definitely key to what my perspective was. Bree spoke about that on Facebook. Bree Moore, just about how just utilizing different resources, utilizing your sisterhood, utilizing your family. I don't have kids myself, but I can only imagine. I deal with all of my friends' kids and all of my nieces and nephews, and the struggle with this change so quickly. And when I said it made me angry, it makes me angry because I lack a sisterhood, and just being in the streets and just dealing with people and trying to get the collective together. I'm like, I'm drained. This 1 week, and y'all talking about April 29th. I'm like, oh my God. So,
But you ain't called me.
I don't want to hear it. You're supposed to get your hair done.
Look, let me just say, Bree was on last night too. Bree has been keeping it 100 about her quarantine time. Shawntell, can you post the Sisterhood Circle link inside of the group chat?
Already on it.
Let me just say, y'all, we real regular, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. We are real regular tribe. You know, you don't have to be, you know, some people, it's just a whole bunch of spiritual ascension information, and sometimes that's a little bit overwhelming. You know, we just so random. It's a lot of laughter. It's a lot of, we drop the nuggets in between that too. And I definitely understand. I try to keep it sort of neutral because many of us are coming out of the whole thing of religion and coming out of being in really fucked up sisterhoods and relationships. And so we sort of need more of a balance. So it's not like these spiritual conjure groups, even though we're going to talk about some of those things too, but it is a lot of sisterly love. It's a lot of support. I have seen this group do, I can't even talk about it, from raising people's rent to, helping each other with their children. It is just an amazing group. So jump in, you take what you want and leave what you don't. You show up when you want and you show up when you don't. And we love on you, however that just tends to happen. So Kiana, you are more than welcome to come on over, honey. Just come on and let us love on you, and we gonna love on you back.
Thank you. I'll be here. Thank y'all.
Okay, so
I just posted it in the chat.
Protective wise, I know this is something that I do for my house, especially because I am always what I consider on the front line. When you always sort of create things like this where, women of color especially can show up empowered, then you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And so I actually have a protective bubble that sits over my house. And I actually did some things at each corner of my house and put protective herbs, put my ancestors on, put them to work in each corner. I recently came back and grounded, once I put this protective shield, I grounded it from the middle where each corner could connect but could ground also from the middle. And that's you going outside, feeling powerful. Actually, and I took my selenite one and I actually created this shield over my entire space because I know the type of work that at any given time that I must do. I don't have time to play with nobody and send shit back to them. I hate when I have to return the sender. That shit makes me mad. But I will return that shit back to you. So anything somebody sends, I send that shit back, whatever that it is. But you want to make sure that you're putting something that's there and speak power. I have to constantly be reminded that my greatest gift is my voice. Speak power. If you don't have anything, don't feel bad if you don't have a candle or if you don't have a herb or if you don't have anything. Speak power and allow your voice and your intention to be your strongest asset in what you're doing to protect yourself, to manifest whatever that it may be. Make sure that you speak power. Okay.
Quick
That's
question,
all I really
Benicia.
have to say about quarantine.
Benicia,
I'm gonna say Shawntell.
is this being recorded so we can to upload later?
Yeah, it is being recorded. I don't know about to upload later. Upload later, but it is being recorded.
Okay.
It's definitely being.
Go ahead, Jade. Where I don't know where Jade is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You want to call?
I basically just wanted to kind of backdoor Benicia about what she said about your word being your power. Tori and I found this show last night.
Go ahead.
We found this show last night. It's called Fort Salem or something like that. And basically, it's like an army of witches, and it was dope. One of the main characters is that chick from House of Pain. I don't know if y'all remember that Tyler Perry show back in the day. But she basically was telling the women
that your voice is your power. And so when using it, you have to be mindful of what what you're saying and everything, because if you're not aware, then you'll give your power away. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that. I just want the back door. That's really it.
Okay. All right. Ooh, I don't know where Venetia went. But thank you, Jade. Definitely appreciate that. For everyone that's in the chat, if you guys have any questions, it's called Fort Salem, right, Jade? If I'm not mistaken, the name of the show is Fort Salem.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Someone was asking. If you have any questions or whatever, definitely put them in a chat. I'll try to manage it and do as much as I can. For everybody else, if you can, as we get started, go ahead and mute yourselves. And Benicia, somebody asked, who did your hair?
This my little young baby named Kyle. I'll post the information in here as well. I only have two. I have very few people who can touch my head because of it being, I'm very protective about my energy, but between Kyle and a lady named Regina, Gita Ford, she's actually in the Sisterhood Circle group too. Those are my braiders. Pony is my natural hair, and Dominique keep it healthy because Negro got all the edges. Y'all, this week I look like Frederick Douglass all week. Like literally, I looked like Frederick Douglass all week. I couldn't take it no more. I was like, look, I just can't, like, come over here and comb my hair for me real quick. And so I'm grateful that, you still have those who still sometimes disobey the rules, the quarantine rules. I smudged the ass and checked the temperature coming in, but y'all, I just couldn't do it no more. So this ain't even trying to be cute. It was just that I got tired of looking like Frederick Douglass. That's just that. Okay, so real quick on this inner child healing work. Oh my God. Okay, you definitely want to make sure that if you are right here, that you have some pen and paper, because Shawntell, the things that she's getting ready to drop is something that we want to come back in and do. Make sure that we're implementing this week. I'm going to come back in and touch in on the shadow work. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It is going to be a little bit overwhelming, but you cannot miss it. You want to make sure that and thank you, Sarah, for controlling energy. I appreciate that because I can definitely feel it. You definitely want to make sure that you are using this time wisely. Let's make sure that we're getting our inner child healing work done, because you're going to definitely need it, especially if you have children. But even if you don't have children, I can assure you there is some little girl or little person shit within yourself that needs some work done. And it is not, the healing journey isn't, oh, okay, I'm done. It is a constant thing within your life, and it's okay. Once you have the tools and resources, it's not as bad as, sometimes it may seem. It just requires consistency and determination. And so let's make sure that we're getting, and then we're going to end it with Nikki giving us a really good meditation so that we can just sit and lock ourselves. And then, of course, we're going to do our chant and raise the vibration up, really, really good. Y'all know what it is. If you don't cuss, if you can't say fuck that shit, then I don't know what to tell you, because we're going to say it. We're going to do what we normally do when we are together. So Shawntell, I'm going to give the floor over to you, and just jump in when needed. Yeah.
I got you. Hey, y'all. Hey, ladies. How are you? I mean, I guess I already know how y'all are, but just hey. Oh my goodness, it is definitely an interesting time to really just be here in this moment, and I am extremely, totally, and utterly grateful. Okay, so question. Someone said the sound is low. Can everyone hear me? Okay, y'all can just nod your head if you can. Nod. Okay, cool. I don't know. I can't really scream, but if everyone else can hear me okay. If you can't, the only thing I can advise really is to try to go back out and then come back in. That'll really be the only thing that I can advise at this time. But I would. My goal is to talk and type, or if Michi, can you manage the chat while I'm talking? I can't see.
Yes, I can get it.
All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, Michi, go ahead and manage the chat while I'm running my mouth. All right. So, hey, ladies, I'm so glad that you guys are here again. Glad that we, gosh, are just really just in a place to even be alive. We're breathing. We're healthy, and we can say that, you know what, today is definitely a new day. And just a little bit about me. Of course, I'm Shawntell Tneke. I help women heal the little girl within so she can live her grown woman unapologetically. Professor with FDSU. And my classes generally about us going within, healing the little girl within, doing all the necessary work. So I'm gonna slow down. I do pick on people. For those who have taken my class, they already know how I roll. So just think this is class. Let me see how much time I got. All right, so this is real life class. I do pick on you. I'm nice-ish. I don't know. Michelle, I see her smiling. Leilani is like, yes, bitch. So I cuss and stuff, and I don't know what else. I'm a mother. I'm also married. I don't know. But my thing is, if y'all have some questions, definitely ask me. I'm pretty much an open book. I'll tell y'all whatever. You know, period, the end. Now, when talking about healing a little girl within, the biggest thing, okay, Tammy, can you turn that down? I'm looking, I'm like, what is this noise? I'm the healing a little girl within, let me pick on some people. Fire tablet, I just, where my mind went to. Or Zamora, I can't pick on you because you've been in my class. So that wouldn't count. Let's go ahead, Michelle. Michelle Robertson. Hey girl, hey. Go ahead. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, look good. Just right now, it looks funny.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who's talking? Okay. Michelle. So I'm picking on Michelle right now. So Michelle, when we talk about healing the little girl within, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
I thought about kind of like what Benicia had said. She said as growing up, they called her a different name versus Benicia. So that's what when she said that, that's what I thought about. They call me Shantae. So healing that little girl, Shantae, that was growing up. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
No, that's accurate. You got it. Look, you get an A+. Ta-da. So, you're right. That is healing Shantae. And for those of us who are on here who have nicknames, right? Mine when I was younger was Tanny or Tiny, whatever side of the family. When dealing with her talking to the little girl within, okay? Now, before I give you guys the steps, I really want you to really think about who you were as a little girl, really thinking about who she is. What did she like? What did she not like? And I know for some of us in our traumas and our triggers, some of us, we have a hard time remembering.
Listen, I don't have to use the whole bottle.
Some of us don't remember because we have, shut off everything, right? And because we've shut off so many things, I don't know if I like red, if my favorite color was yellow, if I like Jack's, Cabbage Patch dolls, I don't know. And I really want you just to take just a quick moment, and I'm going to pick on a few people. So that means you got to do what I'm telling you to do. Think about this is saying 3 questions. Think about what your nickname was as a little girl, what your favorite toy was as a little girl, and what is one thing that you absolutely loved doing as a little girl. And I want you to just think about it. So I'm going to ask you again, what is your nickname as a little girl? What's your favorite toy? And the third one, what is that thing that you absolutely loved to do? And as you guys kind of think and talk, for me, of course, my nickname was Tanny or Tiny. Pick one. My favorite toy really was my bike. And when you're thinking about your toy, think about why. Like one of my favorite toys was being outside, and I wanted to be outside and ride the bike outside of the Cabbage Patch Dolls and Jacks. But when I sat with this, and I'm thinking about riding bikes, is because my parents would fight outside, and being outside was, I was able to. That's how I was able to get away. That was my getaway. Until my friends would be like, "Hey, the police is at your house," or whatever random ass shit that was going on. But that was my way of escape. I was being outside playing. One of my favorite. Now, I had more than that, but that was definitely one of the favorite, and that was the reason why it was the favorite. So, Karina, Amaya's our phone. Hey, beautiful. So, I saw you writing, so you get to go first. How you feeling? And you gotta unmute yourself.
Let me tell you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay, I am good. You want me to tell you my stuff?
Yeah, tell me your stuff, girl. Go for it.
When I was a little girl, my family, they call me Caris. So my name's Karina, so they call me Caris for short. They still do.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite toys were Barbies.
Why you look like that? What's wrong with having Barbies as a favorite toy?
Because it was only when I played by myself that I liked Barbies.
Okay.
And I'm an only child, so I had a brother, but we're 20 years apart. So he's younger than me. So it was me. I associate playing Barbies, being by myself all the time. And my favorite thing to do was creating. So I was always making jewelry or painting something.
Oh wow. So playing with Barbies. When was so as an adult, have you played with Barbies since you've grown up, or when did you stop playing with Barbies?
Sometime in middle school, I don't know.
Okay, I mean, which is about right generally for all of us. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I asked. A lot of us, we've kind of lost our sense of play. We get so serious, we got to be grown and we got bills and shit, right? And we got to take care of our children, so we don't play. And so, and the only reason why I bring this up for you is because I saw your face and you're like, I'll play with Barbies. And then now we have to go dig into the part where you playing with Barbies because you were an only child.
Yeah, I was alone all the time. So the way my mom dealt with me was, go to your room, go play with your Barbies. So I always had Barbies.
How many Barbies did you have? Can you count? What could be,
A lot. I had a whole room full of Barbie stuff.
Really? Do you have a daughter now?
I have a son.
You have a son? Okay. I'm curious about these Barbies. I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
We're gonna play today, okay?
Okay.
All right. B Sanders. Hey, beautiful. Yeah. That's not that bad. That's Karina. She's still alive. Did you die, Karina? No, she's still alive. She okay.
Right. I said, oh no, next. Okay. So my nickname was Brookie. So my name Brooke, and they used to always call me Brookie. My favorite, I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd at heart. But my favorite toy, I was obsessed with Blue's Clues. And for one birthday, I had got the handy dandy notebook. And you couldn't tell me shit. I was finding clues on everybody, okay? Everything was a clue. You were suspect. I would say one of the things that I love to do subconsciously was really just, I wanted people to always choose me. So I was always selling stuff. So I can remember being like 6 years old and picking up all the newspapers on my block and then knocking on the door and trying to get people to buy them. Like, for real. I was, and my auntie like, what are you doing? You a kid with my 8-year-old cousin, because I didn't convince them to walk with me. And people giving me 50 cents, or I poured Kool-Aid in ice trays and would knock on the doors and be like, here, you want a freeze pop? And I'm thinking, like, this is a good product. But I thought about it, like, they're only really doing this because I'm a kid and I probably look adorable, like, as I got older. But, yeah, I just really just always wanted people to buy things from me or support
something. I think it's because I really wasn't getting that support from my own personal family that I was looking for it in other ways, and it just allowed me to kind of just, I guess, go into that kind of avenue.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing that up. Ladies, when you are thinking about, when you're answering your questions, right? And you see, I think Karina said it, B did, I did as well, thinking about why is this my favorite toy? Or why is this the favorite thing for me to do? And when you think about why is this the favorite thing for me to do, and you actually fast forward it to who you are today, you will definitely see a lot of correlation between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Because my question would be is, for those of us who are like, let's do, we can do a show of hands. How many Karinas do I have? Like how many, you know what, I just played because I didn't want to be by myself and I created, you know what I'm saying? I created some toys or something, so I did not want to be by myself. And I will ask you, for those of us who have those things, for those of us that are like that, what is your abandonment/rejection meter? And let me explain. Karina's like, what is your abandonment/rejection meter? And what I mean by that, what I'm saying is generally because we have this thing where we don't want to be alone, and we really fight so hard on being abandoned and being rejected, because as a kid, we have solidified, we have created this thing that where, guess what, I'm gonna play with Barbie number 1, I'm gonna play with Cabbage Patch number 2, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do all these things so I do not have to, quote unquote, be alone, which really sometimes equates being abandoned, being rejected, being put off to the side. So I want for the ladies who raise their hands like, oh yeah, bitch, that's me, right? If that is you, I want you to think about why you do it, or why did you do it as a young girl? Because if you did it then, I can pretty much guarantee, unless we have been through therapy and whatever other randomness that we've been through, are we still doing it now at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years old? Does that make sense? Now, for those of us who, you know, are like B, you know, like, well, I mean, we got toys, you know, she got her handy dandy little notebook, you know. I bet you can sing that song in your mind, Blues Clues. Like that's what kind of came, that's what came to mind to me. And just really think about how many of us take the things that we do as a little girl and we repeat the same patterns of behavior as grown women. And I'm gonna repeat that. How many of us take the same patterns and issues and things that we did as younger ladies, as little girls, and actually repeat them as adults? So the thing about it is, in this regard, now if we're taking these things and we ask ourselves, well, my nickname was this, my favorite toy was this, and I love to do this because this is the favorite thing that I love to do because of this. And now we fast forward 40 years later and I'm still acting out or still doing certain things that I used to do when I was 8. Because when I was 8, that's when my parents split up. Or when I was 10, that's when someone touched me. Or when I was 12, that's when this happened. And now I've created this thing to do to keep myself, quote unquote, safe. So I'm gonna pause. Who got some questions? Because I feel like I'm talking a lot. Who got, Zamora, you got a question? Or you got, I mean, the only reason I'm asking because you was in class. So you've actually taken my class with me, so.
We got one person on here who has been on the chat, Miss Sire. I don't want to pronounce her name right. Leyland. Leyland said, my childhood, my family called me Allison. Her favorite toy was a strawberry shortcake bite. And favorite thing to do was playing outside, riding my bike, and also she liked playing with her Barbie.
But Barbies, first of all, strawberry shortcake, I need to know how old she is, because that she just told on herself. Like, I'm like, oh, strawberry. Oh yes, you got to be at least 35 plus years old saying strawberry shortcake for sure. Anybody who says strawberry shortcake, Cabbage Patch Dolls, we all in the same we're all in the same bracket. So for all of us, even those who y'all know what is the cartoons we used to watch, like She-Ra, the Care Bears, all of those little things that we did as a kid. So if you guys you've answered your questions, right? And now you have you've gotten to the why. Like, oh my gosh, I do this because when I play with the Barbies, and I'm just gonna use Karina. I play with the Barbies because I don't want to be alone. Cool. And I don't want to be alone because now when my mama was having a problem, she would always tell me to go in my room, be alone. Okay, go back. Well, did you like being alone? I just want you guys to think about, were these ways of escapism as little girls? And then fast forward to today, are you still escaping? Michelle, was that a yes? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, I wrote down, for me, I'm the only child too. And it was riding my bike. And also I had the Cabbage Patch with the corn silk hair. And I would do her hair, and I had like a whole beauty salon going on, and I didn't have anybody to talk to. So they, I would talk to them. But I remember riding my bike. That was just a way of me to leave the house. It was being free and just to meet other kids. I was very, I wasn't standoffish when it came to kids because I wanted to play with somebody, so me riding my bike somewhere else, that was like my Lexus, that was my way of just getting away and meeting somebody or whatever the case. And I still do that. It made me think about it when I feel restricted. Like even now, I stay in DeSoto, I'll get on 35 all the way around coming back to 20 back over here. I would just drive like that because
you on your bike.
I was on my bike to just feel free again. I just did a road trip, and just that trip, for whatever reason, I equated that because I didn't put that together at first, I have family in Shreveport. Sometimes I would just drop everything and drive down there. Every single time I'm feeling just restricted or, where I lose my neck, I feel, just tight. Right. I would just drop everything and just go.
So in this moment, especially for you and those that are like you, you quarantine, and if they just so happen to close these borders, Michelle, and say, hey, you can't drive, like you know, because a lot of us are quarantined specifically, but if they just so happen to close the borders, how are you going to band-aid your way of escapism? And I meant exactly, how are you going to band-aid your way of escapism?
That part I don't know, because like I said, it's just
I'm glad you don't know
right now.
Well, thank you. But I don't ever, so everyone that's listening, I don't ever want nobody to band-aid their way through anything. Like, and it's because the driving really is, that's something that you taught yourself as a little girl, that you said, oh, I'm just gonna get on my bike and go away, and that way I don't have to deal with it. And so you basically, all you did was put a Band-Aid on it. So the thing about it is, now we're going to have to go in and dig and determine, why do you do that? What is it about home? And even currently, what is it about home that makes you want to escape? Or even a job for other people, or even your children, or whatever the case may be. What is it about that place that makes you want to escape? I don't want you to think of, don't give me an answer right now in this moment today. Really just think about it. Because now and a lot of us, sometimes we do it so often, it becomes like medication, like drinking water, because it's second nature to us to do a thing. For me, I had one of my mentors, she asked me, she was like, so what do you do for fun? And I was like, oh, I love to read. And she was like, yeah, but reading is, a way to take your mind and escape. I said, well, I like to write. And she said, you channel. I was like, oh, shit. I said, well, I like to take baths. She said, you channel when you take a bath. I'm like, damn, bitch, what? I said, well, she was like, do you like to just play? And I'm like, not necessarily for fun. It took me, I want to say, about 3 days, 3-4 days to legit figure out what I like to do for fun that was not a way of me escaping. And I want you to think about that. What is it that you like to do for fun that is not a way of escapism, but actually something that brings you back to your body, that brings you back to ground zero? And that's why I asked the question, what is your favorite dog? What is it that you like to do? Okay. And so, cool, 5 minutes. So this is the thing. For me, it was really hard. How did I figure this shit out? Because I was like, I don't know what the hell. Like, I know I like to read, I like to write, I like pens, I like journals. You know, I had a list of shit, but not everything that I liked that I made fun was a way for me to get outside of my own body. And nothing brought me back. And so, how do you find out? How many of us, for those, and let me ask specifically to the people who are not FDSU students that have taken my class, because I know you have. How many of us have written a letter to the younger version of ourselves? And I'm saying, you write the letter, right? And you don't say, I say, hey, Tanny, or hey, Tiny. And I write to her from the mindset of Shawntell is actually writing as if you would write to your daughter, as if you, for those who don't have daughters, a younger cousin or a younger sibling. How many have really written a letter to the younger version of yourself? Queen, hey lady, beautiful. Tell me about this letter that you, unmute yourself. You're on mute. Tell me about this letter that you have written to yourself.
I wrote a letter about 6 months ago. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Go ahead, Queen. I'll have you talk after her. Go ahead.
Hey.
Russ, give me your name. Kim Amara?
Kamira.
Kamira. There you go. Thank you. All right. Go ahead. Talk to me.
It was basically a letter reminding myself to always forgive myself for a lot of things that I either overlooked, that I procrastinated on, because I've always, I'm one of those people, I like to please people all the time. And when I fall short of doing that, it kind of, made me feel a little off balance when I don't fulfill what I want to do for people or how I want to do for people. But then I rethought a lot of it as I've gotten older. Mm-hmm. And trying to always please everybody, I forgot about me.
Absolutely.
So I wrote a letter to myself to just relax sometimes, breathe, forgive yourself for not always accomplishing everything for yourself and for other people. So it was just a little journaling to, to write my, I remind myself of that. You don't always have to fulfill everything. Do your best at what you can do at that point. Mm-hmm. And you can always get back to it at a later time to fulfill it versus put stress on yourself of, oh my God, I didn't do it. And not thinking that I don't have time to accomplish it or make it happen.
Right. And time is what we make it. And your dreams and your goals are what you make it. So Kamara, I would ask you, when did you start people pleasing? At what age? And for all of the people pleasers in the group, and I'm sure it's probably like 98% of the people in the group, and say think about the first time as a little girl when you made someone angry, or you made somebody mad, or mama, daddy, whomever, and you realize in that moment, I want them to like me. I want mama to love me, or I want daddy to love me, or whatever your story is, right? Then the next letter that you write to the little girl within you, I need you to go back and talk to her. talk to that little girl. And that's how you will bring that together with the people. Because if you just start, well, I just need to give more time to myself, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, I would be 100% honest with you, you will still go back to the behavior. For us, when we talk about behavior and certain patterns, for all of us that do this, go back to when it started. And then you deal with that age, whatever age that is, right? Be it 7, 6, 5. And a lot of us, it's young, it's usually 10 or under. And you think about the little girl when something happened, right? Where mama probably pissed you off, or you really made somebody angry. And in that moment, and we do it, right? All of us as little girls, we're like, I'm not gonna do that no more. And we'll tell ourselves, I'm not gonna do it anymore because I don't wanna hurt like this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so the next letter you write, make sure you write to that version of her. I'm gonna read a comment that Indigo, she says, I've been a people pleaser my whole life. My stepdad will always spank me, but never my brother. So I always try to, I would always try to be good, do good, to never make anyone mad. It started when I was 7. Indigo, when you write the letter to the little girl within you, you need to write to the 7-year-old her. And I'm gonna tell you something. So a lot of times, and Queen, I haven't forgot about you, I'm coming to you. A lot of times when we write these letters, you know, we get real, sometimes lady, don't bullshit yourself. At the end of the day, this your letter to you, right? So be honest. Some of us need to tell little Kamira or little Zamora, little B, or little Brookie. I think, did I say it right? Brookie, okay. Brookie, I'm gonna get it right. Or whatever the younger version of you, some of us just need to, all she needs to hear from you is that she's loved. Y'all don't need to be deep and write a 5-page dissertation about how you the love and the light and the stars are shining and the moon is and the birds is chirping. Girl, don't give a shit about that. Girl, go be real. Talk to her. Because some of us, the 7-year-old version of us, just needs to know that she's loved and that she's okay. And we're sorry that Uncle Ray Ray or Uncle Nook Nook or your cousin or your brother touched you at 3, at 5, at 7. Some of us need to go back to her. And don't talk to her like you're talking to a grown woman. Talk to her in the words as if you were talking to your younger daughter or a younger cousin. That is how you do that. So for Indigo, go back to 7, whatever your 7-year-old version of you, go back and talk to the 7-year-old you and be like, hey, I'm sorry, Daddy would always whoop you and not your brother. You know what? And where you was bad, and I don't know why Daddy did it. And then Indigo, for you, you can do a follow-up letter and then write one to your daddy, please. And so for those that want to write a letter to your parents, please don't give it to them. And thank you. But you might want to backdoor and write one to your father. I've had one lady in class, I'm not going to say anybody's names, but who wrote one to her parent. And they turned in their assignments, and I read it. I was like, "Ooh, baby, I know this baby. She big mad at her mama, like times 10, mad, very, very angry." But this is the thing: you can say whatever you want to say in your letter to your parents, that you pissed the fuck off, that they treated you that way. And I just want you to just take a moment, just think about it. Everybody.
We'll start Indigo real quick. Can we, breathe her? And Leilani and Sarah, can y'all sort of send her some energy? Because
I just need everybody though. Everybody on the live. I want everybody to just close your eyes for a quick moment. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Third time's a charm. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale. Thank you, Benicia.
We had one question real quick that I felt was one that definitely should be addressed. Dominique wanted to understand what people pleasing is. When does people pleasing become toxic? Trying to figure out what a people pleaser is.
Oh, thank you. That's a real good question. When you can say yes to someone else while simultaneously saying no to yourself. when you put the needs of other people before yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we people please, sometimes even with our children, and especially us as mothers, because I done went through the trial and the fire, and I don't want my kids to go through the thing. But this is the thing: your children learn best based on what you do, not necessarily what you say. Because how many of us really did what mom and them told us to do? And a lot of us, we inadvertently just do based on what we see our parents do. And then DNA-wise, some of us just do it. Your daddy wasn't there, and your mama, swear to God, you act just like your daddy. So people pleasing, Dominique, I hope that answers your question. If you can say yes to someone else, and you know within yourself that the damn answer should be no, off the grip, you're people pleasing. That's a people pleaser. When someone, they're put the needs in, there is this fine line of not being selfish and people pleasing, but recognizing when you put the needs of others before yourself. You guys, think about when you ride the plane, when they give y'all the safety thing. What do they tell y'all when the mask fall down? Put it over your own face first before you put it on someone else's. It's the same thing. It doesn't mean that I'm selfish because I put my mask on first. How the hell can I save you if I'm drowning? And this is something you want to think about. Queen, I'm sorry, Benicia, go.
Kiana wants to know, how do you breathe through the cycle? She's aware, but the healing is on a new level. I really think she needs to get with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that next level party, we don't even have enough time, and so that's for this one.
Yeah, it's just a short version for those you guys. For me, the two things for those who need a sisterhood, you guys reach out to the ladies. It's like, I don't know how many of us is on here. You can reach out to all the ladies. Pick a lady. I don't know. Your homegirl, a trusted friend. Find someone that you can talk to that you trust. That's off the grip. And I know Benicia and I had this conversation I don't know, about a week or so ago. I said, sometimes we don't want to talk about healing. We just want to be petty for a moment, talk about dumb shit and fingernail polish and lipstick. Y'all see her red lips? Yes. So sometimes you just want to be regular, like everything and want to be healing. So sometimes you just need to have just a regular ass conversation and be okay with that. And the flip side of that, Kiana, for me, writing, getting that stuff out of you. And some of us, well, can I type it? No. Get a pen, pencil, paper, find a pretty notebook or ugly one or whatever works for you. It don't matter to me. But get it off of you. A lot of us are so full. When we talk about Erica about doing that bag lady, some of us, we got your baggage, your mama's baggage, your auntie's name baggages, your sister's name. I mean, it may be Louis Vuitton and it might be pretty and it might have glitter and it might be real shiny, but we got a whole lot that we're carrying, a bunch of loads. Get it out, whatever that looks like.
I guess we can go to Queen, because Queen has been waiting. But Gypsy, aka Kiana, said that's definitely what I'm led to do. Journaling for sure. Someone said thank you for this. This has been truly helpful. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, I'm posting emails inside of the thing right now so that we can keep everybody connected.
Yeah, we want to talk to Queen about her writing your letter to the little girl within. You're on mute right now. Unmute. Benicia, can you unmute her?
Yeah. Let me unmute Queen. 1 second. I was getting background noise. Okay, there you go.
Well, when I wrote the letter, it was really to myself about the treatment I received as a kid. I was never allowed to be a child. I was always a mother. My mother had so many children, and at 5 years old, I knew how to change a baby. Anything that required taking care of a baby, I could do it. So consequently, I've been a mother all my life. And I wrote a letter to my mother, just letting her know it was a heavy burden and the responsibility to carry at that age to be a mother, because I shouldn't have been a mother. I should have been a child.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That
Thank
was
you.
that was me too, Queen. And Janetta said that was her too. Yeah, a lot of us have experienced that.
Thank you for sharing. Before I leave, I want to, one of the things that Jay posted, being for all of us journal writers, and your parents, read your journals, and then you got a spanking for the shit that you would say or whatever. And now we're at a place where we're afraid to write now. Some of us are afraid to write now. So one of the ways that, for those who want to write, is, and Leilani, and I think she would be good too, write a story. Don't write it journally, like, to blah, 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 da, 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 da. Create a story with fake names, you know what I'm saying? And even though you've grown, know your parents aren't here to read it, but because some of us are at a place where we're still afraid to write, because that fear is still there, right? And that's, let me tell y'all something. For everybody that's on here, be okay to cry. This is a safe space. You are okay. What I want to say is, when you're writing, even if you need to write your letter as a story form, that's fine. But you still got to use your nickname. You still got to, whatever they called you as a little girl, you still got to use that name, but write it as a story to keep yourself safe, and do that until you can feel safe within yourself. Okay. Jade, I hope that helps. I can't see. Yes. Okay, cool. So, and for those who have that similar thing, do it that way to help. Yeah. Does anyone have any? I know I kind of went over a little bit, but does anyone have?
What was the steps that you gave again? Because I know I can start from the beginning. Some of the things that Shawntell said was writing your nickname, your favorite toy, and things that you enjoy.
And when you write those things, then figure out why. Why is this your favorite toy? Why is this the thing that you really, really like, right? And then when you write that, I want you to think about, oh shit, am I still doing this at 35? Like Michelle, she realized she's still driving. She's still getting on her bike and leaving. So think about your why. Now once you've gotten all that together, then you can write to the little girl. You can write to her, to whatever that age is. Some of us, I'm gonna be honest, I got all kind of letters at different ages. Okay. Ages of one when parents broke up, one when I gave my life away. Just, it's all kind of letters that you can. I'm still writing to this day. It doesn't change. Like Benisha said earlier, we rinse and repeat this thing. So you write then to the little girl within, and you talk to her. Okay, you talk to her as a mother would talk to a child, or a big sis would talk to a little sis. And for those of us who are afraid because we had to hide our journals, then the way you write, if you're really scared of writing, if you're really afraid, then you write it in a story form. But the purpose of writing is getting it from within you and getting it out of you. And so for some of us who are thoroughly pissed off at our parents, feel free to write a letter to them. Please don't give it to them, but feel free to write a letter to them as well. Okay.
Did everybody get those steps? Okay. We're seeing a lot of gratitude for some of you all jumping on. I hadn't seen some of you guys faces physically, because I know some of you all have commitments on Sunday. How y'all feel about the information? Okay, I see Charlotte said yes. Asia Wave said yes, ma'am. Okay, yes. I'm glad that y'all, Sarita, we're born into sin that isn't really sin. It's the discontentment, aggression, and energy. I wonder, Shawntell, can you save the group chat?
Please hold. Yes, actually I can. You want me to save it?
I didn't know, yeah, because I definitely want to come back. Some of those questions, I know I'm seeing some questions that we just, they're just moving real fast, so I can, can't catch all of them. Let me just say, the beautiful part about FDSU is that it is sort of phased out. Now, everybody is in their own space in their healing journey. And so how we started out is definitely an introduction to spirituality. That's where Michi comes through. It was formerly my class, but Michi comes through and just sort of just drops and just, hey, let's remove some fear type stuff and just start picking up other stuff so that you can just sort of be open to the tools and resources. Then we go through Nikki's class, which teaches us how to woosah, just sort of calm. We're getting ready to do that meditation next. It's really good to have Nikki's class before you get to Shawntell's, even though Shawntell is really, really good at controlling the energy. When you go through and do this little girl homework, you are going to want to make sure that you are having those moments where you're sitting down, meditating, releasing some things, not holding on to it, and knowing how to raise your vibration up. Because when you go back through these traumatic experiences, you don't want to just keep having the same things to trigger you back to that 7-year-old little girl or the 3-year-old little girl, and some of the things that you just can't remember. So it's very important that you know how to ground yourself or snap yourself back, or to actually, implement some of the things that you work on. Something that we teach in the first phase, your trigger action plan. What happens when you trigger? What action plan do you put forward to actually snap yourself out of those moments, so that you won't keep reliving the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again. So Shawntell's class falls perfectly right after Nikki's, but we have understood just within, almost being at a year with this university, that you do need each of these classes beyond. There are going to be some times that you need to make these connections with these ladies and past even, what they do here within the university to sort of connect. The beautiful thing about Sold Out Sunday is we set it in front of your face. And some of this, maybe you don't feel like you need to go through the entire journey, but maybe you feel like you need to come in and really work on that inner child part. And so I know Shawntell has some things that are coming up. Shawntell, you want to talk about that real quick before we go into meditation?
Yeah, for sure. So I do have something coming up. Ooh, I had to pull it up. Sorry, you guys. I was trying to respond to the people in the chat. So I am starting April 14th. April 14th is in the evening, and I don't know what people's schedule look like though. I'm opening up the Journeys of She, okay, SHE. It'll be 9 weeks, but this is the thing. It's a 9-week course, but it's every other week. I realize rolling through little girl issues week after week after week can be deeply traumatizing for some people. Yay, girl, your birthday. So it's 9 classes. First class, The Little Girl Within, She Dreams, Love Letters, Unknown Surprises. It's going to be pretty good. The Gift, What is Love, Tears and Shit. Yes, that's the name of the class, Tears and Shit, right? Because that's how we feel, we grown. Letting Go, and then the last one is LOVE, Loving One's Vulnerable Emancipation. Because I believe at that time, it's time, right? And I'll be able to go through some of this stuff with you, because some of this I was like, oh, Spirit, really? We're gonna do that? So I'm excited about it. Like I said, it'll start April 14th. I did put on Benicia, I was like, okay, 9 weeks, every other week. I think the last day will be like August 14th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's actually gonna go far because it is every other week. It's gonna be on a Tuesday evening. Tuesdays from 8 to 9:30. Yeah, 90 minutes may seem like a long time, but I want to slate that much time just because we'll be answering a lot of questions and stuff like that. Also, in between each week, I will reach, me and you will have like a one-on-one every week to kind of walk through the homework assignment, what's going on, okay, what do you need, how can I show up for you, et cetera, et cetera. So, Marsha, thank you, Marsha. How can I show up for you? Period, that's all. So I am taking, for those who are interested, you guys reach out to me, let me know. The price is $99 for all 9 weeks. So you get 9 weeks of class, you get the interaction with the class, you also get me for 9 weeks. So in between each class, you get a one-on-one session with me. And I put it at $99 only because it will never be $99 ever after this. So if you are interested, you guys, I'm gonna drop my information. I'm gonna drop my information in the chat. Let me know if you're interested. I'm only holding space for a select few. And I'm gonna be honest, there's no way I can pull 20 people in one class. So if I have more, then I'll run it more than once. If I'll run it the week after. I'll start another class the week after the 14th. So if you, okay, Sawyer, I'm gonna give you your last name. I got you. So if you guys have any questions, I'm about to drop my information in the group. Let me know, okay? All right, Benicia.
How y'all feel? Brooke, see, if your ass would have been in class, you would have had this whole goddamn on session. Brooke B is actually who I was trying to get to come up under you and mentor Shawntell to be able to. Her ass, she missed out on that.
Tell Brooke, just holler at me. Let's have a conversation.
I don't know. Brooke, she gonna holler at you about whatever you got going on, but she missed that one. Her ass gonna have to go through a whole university.
She said, no, let her speak.
Yeah, she missed that one, and it's been really, really good. And I'm gonna say that even with me being in class, it has been really good. I'm grateful that I have this group of sisters to where, because it has been, some moments where it has been hard, where I've been stuck in some of the parts. And so the other day I sat in Nikki right before she came back from Hawaii. Nikki, if you can unmute yourself too, Nikki. Nikki did a meditation on the beach in Hawaii, and it was fucking amazing. My phone I must have been on low battery. Anybody who know me, my phone is subject to be halfway dead at any given time. So I'm stuck in the moment with my hand over my other hand up under my bra strap. And next thing you know, I'm zoned out and probably done took a damn nap. I don't know. It was so goddamn relaxing. And I felt myself melting into myself and into the ground. And so it was really, really, really relaxing at the time. And so coming from that, I'm definitely grateful that I had Nikki's tools and resources, or that she was just right there available for me to sort of take myself back and get myself where I needed to be. So if everyone could just sort of prepare yourself to actually just have a moment of relaxation, however you feel comfortable. I know some of you are laid on the couch, some of you are sitting up. Let's just go ahead and prepare ourselves. Nikki, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yay. Nikki, just real quick, Nikki was, I met Nikki actually working in the salon, and she was like, and I could see her, she had this look on her face, and it's always this really sweet look. And I was like, girl, you already got it. And she was like, no. So from there, Nikki became my one-on-one client. And man, it's just amazing to see where she is and how important she took her healing and her purpose, because we definitely need Nikki's out here. And it's beautiful that even coming through the classes that she has reached. Do you guys know how many students it is that you guys have have reached, because now all of these people are coming from, you know, they're all being trained under these programs. And so now you have, you know, so many students who have came through FDSU that now can say, you know, they're trained under To Inspire Peace, that are trained up under Shawntell's class, that are now being trained under Dr. Nick's class, to say that you actually, you know, can now go out into the community and service our communities and the needs up under these amazing women of purpose, and actually help fulfill yours. How many do y'all know how many it's been? Because you guys have 100%. How many?
18, I think, for me.
18 for you. How many for you, Nikki?
It's either 17 or 19, because I didn't, let me see, 15, 16, 17.
I don't even know how many it's been. I'm just gonna be honest. I know I know Nikki has had a 100% success rate. I think everyone who's came through has made it through to Nikki's class, and most of them have made it to Shawntell's class as well, made it through the program. It sometimes can get intense. Let me just say, when you were being, you know, given the tools and sort of having the accountability to being, you know, addressing your shit, sometimes that can be a little hard. But it's beautiful that you get it in stages where you can actually flow through it. Michelle, how has it been for you? Nikki's class? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. I could be a major hype woman. Michelle has definitely said that she has loved it. Michelle is an educator as well. Nikki's an educator, so it just sort of like gels like perfectly together. You need this. Every successful person. I was on something yesterday, and the lady said, if you want to be successful, do what successful people do. Don't try to go through and like switch the shit up and do this. Now do exactly what successful people do. Once you reach your level of success, then you can come through and, you know, change some shit. But hell, you don't know how to be successful, so do what successful people do. Every successful person meditates. I don't know not one single successful person who does not know how to get within their mind and flow within their thoughts and calm themselves the fuck down. If you go and look at anybody from Henry Ford to Lisa Nichols to Oprah Winfrey, every single last one of them meditate. As women, we are at the bottom of the list, Black women, to receive resources on how to deal with our traumas and our triggers. The very last group of people, like dead ass last, because we carry everything. How do you release that? How do you come back and ground yourself? How do you get through the thoughts in your mind? When I first started out trying to meditate, the shit was hard as hell, because I was thinking I need to get up and feed these kids. Why is that dog outside barking? Did somebody just try to open up my door? You go through all this shit, and then next thing you know, you think you've been down there 40 minutes, it's only been 60 seconds, and you ready to get your ass up. But once you really get that accountability and you really learn how to really get past 60 seconds, you'll be surprised at the amazingness that comes behind it. So Nikki, much gratitude to you and your gift and your purpose in your life. That's it for me. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, because my anxiety was ridiculous. I needed to figure out how to do all that. So you're the one who introduced mindfulness and introduced me to something that I didn't even know I could do. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, so hopefully that gave everybody a chance to kind of get into their space. You definitely want to ground for this meditation. So what do I mean by grounding? So being able to place your feet flat on, like, so if you're laying down, maybe you're on your back and your knees are bent, and that way your feet can be flat on whatever surface you're on, whether it's the couch or the bed or whatever. And if you're sitting up, just allowing your feet to touch the ground. And in this moment, just allow yourself to envision that you have roots coming from the bottom of your feet. And we're going to get connected to Mother Earth, allowing those roots to just descend all the way through the floor, maybe all the way to the center of the earth. And allow yourself to find some type of anchor to ground you there, to allow yourself to balance out and steady in this space. And that can be a rose quartz or whatever you find in your environment to anchor you. And then I want you to connect yourself to your breath. And a lot of our child wounds come from the heart. So allow yourself to bring your breath, and as you inhale, expand your chest as wholly as you can go. On the exhale, allowing that energy to leave and bringing in fresh breath, fresh air, fresh intentions. And in this moment, as you continue to inhale and exhale, I want you to bring in front of you what intentions you want to set for this meditation. Is it healing? Is it restoration? Is it getting the energy of abandonment or neglect? Of those things that we struggle with, of people pleasing? What is aching in the heart? What is creating the discomfort or the tension that sometimes keeps your neck tight? Breathe into it. Now just relax. Maybe it's stored within your upper shoulders. Allow yourself to breathe into it. And exhale and relax. Relax your upper shoulders and your neck. And maybe move your shoulders down your back. Just relaxing. Create movement if you need to, whether it's squeezing your shoulders up to your ears and squeezing all the tension out, and then allowing yourself to relax your shoulders back down your back. Doing that as you take each breath until the tension is gone, giving yourself a massage, squeezing out that tension and that discomfort. Exhaling and letting it go. And allowing yourself in this moment to create a quick body scan, scanning yourself from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet to find where the discomfort, where the tension lies, where the energy may be stagnant or blocked. What's trying to get your attention in this moment? And using your breath to breathe into those spots. Giving in to the power of the breath to bring life and to restore life. And now I want you to bring your attention back to the roots that you've created, that you've anchored. And I want you to imagine that there lies a stream or some type of water source. Some type of water source. And your roots are being fed and they're being restored. And you're able to feed from this pool of water so that it can permeate the body and cleanse it and purify it. And I want you to take into consideration the pattern of your breath as you bring the water in and let go of the energy that no longer serves you. And watch as that body of water begins to surge through you, creating the purification and the cleansing needed within this moment. And as you continue to take in the pattern of your breath, create a cloak of protection and of healing around you. Notice what color it is, what it feels like, and how it begins to permeate your skin. And begin to course through your body, creating a mixture of cleansing and purification and healing and connection. And from these roots, I want you to create yourself as a tree. What does your trunk look like? What types of fruit do you bear? Look at your branches and your leaves and whatever types of fruit or flowers you bear. Look at the health of that tree. And with your breath, whatever parts of you need restoration, breathe into them. Take the mixture of yourself, of the protection and the cleansing and the healing and the purification, and continue to restore the parts of the tree that need restoration from the storms, from the environments, from the seasons, from the time. And I want you to notice the middle of the trunk, the center of the trunk where it all began. And look at the amount of rings that surrounds that core of your trunk. And allow yourself to look at the outer ring of that trunk and move yourself to the middle and to the core by placing your left hand, if you are a woman, underneath your belly button, and if you're a man, above your belly button, and connecting within to your soul that represents the core of your trunk, of your beautiful tree. And as we look into this place, I want you to see that little person, that original soul that resides within. Recognize what age does he or she look like. Does she come to you as a symbol? And as he begins to appear, allow yourself to become one with that little person, with an embrace, with a kiss, with whatever comes, to be able to become one with that original soul. Who knows everything about you. And as we recognize the age of that little person, allow that little person to grab your hand and allow you to travel to the first place, the first space, wherever he or she needs to show you. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Continue to inhale and exhale for 2 more times. Pay attention to whatever comes up, whether it's colors or a tunnel or wherever you go, and however you get there, whatever portal you use. Just honor the trip. Honor the experience. And in this moment, call upon the Ascended Masters, your spirit guides, your angels and archangels, your ancestors and the divine, to assist you in whatever way you need to be assisted in this moment, to experience the source, or whatever clarity needs to be made in this situation. And in this moment, my voice will fall silent as you discover whatever it is that your inner child needs to show you. Know that you're protected, and know that you have loving energy and healing energy flowing through your body. And then that when it's needed, you always have access to your breath to bring you in and out.
That was good. Oh, we still in it? Oh. How y'all feel? I was waiting. I was waiting. I was waiting on this part. I was like, yeah, I know I go to sleep on y'all. Yeah, it took me a nap. Okay. Okay. Oh, that was really good. That was good. Feeling better. That was dope. Yes. And Sarah's still in there going hard on the chimes. Come on, Sarah, bring us in. Okay, so you guys, because we are locked in, of course. Oh, it looks beautiful and amazing, Sarah. I can't wait to come have my live session on your floor. Sarah is also another professor in FDSU. Sarah heals the healers. And so the professors actually meet with Sarah to look at, Rhonda said she dozed off a couple of times. I understand. Sarah actually helps the healers. So even we have two students now who are going through our student teacher program, Leilani and Michi. And so definitely Sarah's here to snap us back because we have to have someone for ourselves too. So it's nothing but much gratitude to have you right here. We appreciate you and love you. And thank you so much for holding space. Rhonda, one of our students also had, Rhonda said, hey, I got my candles over here in the water, just like if we were at Sold Out Sunday. So everybody has really been in the perfect space to make sure that we are controlling energy, holding space for you guys. We take this very seriously. You know, we don't know how to do it other than how we know how to do it. It's a beautiful part to be just where we are. I am going to post information in here about FDSU. FDSU is a 12-month program, and I just can only say it's amazing. And I'm not just saying it just because, you know, I'm right here a part of it. But the next class starts on May 4th. And it, like I said, it is a 12-week program. $97 for enrollment. That's your consultation, so we can figure out some shit before we start. And then it's $157 a month, and it is a 7-course phase. I really don't know what else more to say besides that. Many of you have been into Sold Out Sunday. If you have more questions, definitely reach out. I have put my email there, as well as Shawntell's email, as well as Nikki's email. Nikki also had a session in the park that has already started, but because of this, you know, we've had to hold out on it. So definitely make sure you stay connected with To Inspire Peace. So on moments where we're not doing Sold Out Sunday, we can definitely go over there and join her, excuse me, for meditation in the park. We won't intrude on those times. So we are working together to make sure that Sold Out Sunday is not at the same time as meditation in the park. So definitely Nikki put those details down there as well. What else am I leaving out? I don't know what else I'm leaving out. Oh, we will be back here next Sunday. Next Sunday, the same time at 11:11. We have not been given the instruction to go back into our usual spaces at Pan African. So if you know other people in other cities who definitely need this moment, then spread the word. I know Brooke is in St. Louis. We have a couple of people on here that are in Detroit, somebody in California. So spread the word. Let's get this healing energy out. It's definitely needed in these communities. And as we are more quarantined, and some of us in other cities are heavily quarantined, we definitely need these moments to where we can snap back and snap ourselves to where we need to be so that we can combat some of the energy that we're having to deal with. So let's spread the word. Shawntell has posted her information here too as well. So that you can make sure if you're interested in the courses, that 9-week course, that you can get involved. And so we sort of have this thing that we do. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to try it here in unison before we leave. You know, we always come together and we take us this group picture. I think that's virtually impossible for me to get a group picture. But if you guys would all send me a snapshot, a selfie of you, I will make us a group picture, okay? We're gonna fake it till we can make it. But what we're going to do in unison, and we do this and we say it 3 times, and you got to say it from deep down within your soul. And the reason why this university is called Fuck That Shit University, because I could have named it all other kind of beautiful, you know, elegant stuff, you know, like Serenity, Serene, something, whatever. It could have been that. But until you truly know how to really say fuck that shit and really heal past some things into your greatest purpose. And if you can't be honest with yourself, even if you are 100% Christian, holistic, whatever you want to call yourself, that you have never said to yourself, man, fuck that shit, you are a lie. You have said it in your mind, maybe not out loud, but until you truly learn how to say that, then you have really not really had a true healing to purpose experience. And every last one of us on this line has purpose. And so we need you. We need you out here. So let's heal past it. Let's connect it to our purpose in life and figure out exactly what that means to actually get past this next phase of yourself. If you're interested in FDSU, my email is there. Hit me up. Let's talk. Let's figure it out. Hey, I just know what works, and I'm sort of the plug to other shit that works. That's it. So on the count of 3, we're gonna say, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. And we're gonna say it 3 times, okay? Now we gotta say it all in. Let me unmute everybody. Let me unmute y'all. We acting all bougie and shit. This is not the time for bouginess, okay? We're gonna really and come off of this live and go into some vibration. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Andy.
2, 3. Fuck
that
it.
Fuck that
That
shit.
shit.
Fuck that
Shit.
shit. No, hold on. We need to try this one more time. We're gonna try this one more time, please.
We all know.
Oh my God.
That shit. Fuck that shit.
That shit.
That shit.
That shit.
Fuck that shit. Shit.
Guys,
Fuck that shit.
next,
Man.
see everybody next we'll see everybody next Sunday, same time, 11:11. We are going to be discussing relationships. Next month is a focus on relationships. If you did not catch last night's Candid Conversations, that was really amazing. Ask me about it. I'll share that information as well. I love y'all. Reach out. You have our information. We look forward to seeing y'all on next week. Send me the selfies. Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love y'all.
With your cute self.
Love you. Bye.
Love y'all.
Bye,
Love
y'all.
everyone.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love you.
Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Energy.
Peace.
Peace.
Keep working there. Good. Stop working.
Oh Lord, that go cute.
Keep working.